Well, hey there, you lovely person. My name's Joe. Today I'm going to talk about the 10 most important things in U.S. history, post-Reconstruction. And really, that's all the introduction you need, so let's do it.
Number 10 will go right here.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot the honorable mentions. First up, you got the Vietnam War. That completely changed U.S. opinions about foreign intervention. Of course, there's the women's suffrage movement. That gave like half of all Americans the right to vote, so that's probably important. And then there's good old Woodrow Wilson. He's a pretty important dude. I mean, he was part of the progressive movement. That completely changed American politics. Of course, I could never forget to mention the Roaring Twenties. American culture as we know it wouldn't even exist without those years. And finally, I want to give a shout out to my boy War on Terrorism. He completely changed the way that the world works and how the US foreign policy works. So yeah, shout outs to him. Go check out his YouTube channel and his Instagram. And with that nonsense out of the way, let's move on to number 10.
Number 10 will go right here. Yeah, this is number 10. Imagine, if you could, that a cowboy became the president. A cowboy with a fantastic mustache, who hates huge corporations and loves nature. That's Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy was the epitome of the progressive movement. He busted trusts. He conserved nature. He regulated foods and drugs. He supported strikers. Seriously, how many presidents do this much stuff? Before Teddy, the US was a hyper-capitalist country where everybody was a slave to the corporations. But Teddy launched a 20-year era of social progress. -4. And if you really think about it, he made America great before it was even cool. This is where number 9 will be. Just look at it on the screen. Attention, women and minorities of America! Do you like freedom? Then you should thank the number 8 entry on this list. 1960s social reform. People like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Cesar Chavez, and so much more helped create the mostly egalitarian society we enjoy today. And they couldn't have done it without the help of thousands of activists in the 60s and 70s. Before these lovely men and women started acting up, America was a dark, desolate place. Are you black? Back of the bus with you, mister. Are you a woman? Make me a sandwich. But thanks to the social reform of the 60s and 70s, today, all Americans can choose to do whatever they want with their lives, despite what some people might have you believe. Number 8 is really great, and now it's coming up.
Oh hey there, you seem to have caught me hanging out here at the White House with my buddy Harry S. Truman. Hey Harry. Yeah man? So like, there's all these communists everywhere? Yeah. So like, what are we gonna do about it? That's a really good question. Yeah, I mean, you're the president. Isn't it kinda your job to figure that stuff out? Mm-hmm. And are you gonna answer?
I've got it!
We'll just help terrible dictators rise to power instead. I mean, yeah, we could do that, but aren't dictators just as bad as communists? No. How? 'Cause commies? Okay, but wouldn't a whole bunch of authoritarian governments result in millions of deaths, suppression, and forever change the face of international politics? Well, yeah, probably, but commies. Okay, but wouldn't we accidentally create some of our worst enemies, like, I don't know, North Korea, Iran? Yeah, but commies. But isn't it wrong to alter the destinies of dozens of countries and hundreds of millions of people? But commies. Yeah, alright, sounds legit.
Number 7.
Oh yeah, I probably should have said that one was about containment. You know, just in case it wasn't obvious.
Number 7 makes me feel like I'm in heaven because it is so very nice. Every several decades, something happens that suddenly and instantly alters the course of American history. It happened with the stock market crash of '29, it happened with the Pearl Harbor bombings, and it happened with the September 11th bombings in 2001. While terrorism was nothing new to the United States, there had been many attacks in the 90s. None were quite like 9/11. Al-Qaeda had managed to take out 2 of the most important buildings in the entire country and killed thousands of people. They thought they had destroyed our morale. Instead, the attacks were a rallying cry, bringing Americans together. It's because of 9/11 that we've spent the last 17 plus years actively fighting terrorism. Thanks, Osama. Number 6. Nothing rhymes with 6, so this is the number 6. I would like to tell you all a little story. Once upon a time, there was a little empire of evil named the USSR. The USSR loved playing with nuclear weaponry. The USSR felt pretty good about life. It was all ready to take on its enemy, that big meanie America. Then one day, the USSR collapsed in on itself and died suddenly and unexpectedly. The end. Actually, no it isn't. You see, life got a lot better for America after the USSR died. It no longer had a rival to worry about, so it could become the sole global superpower. Rumor has it that ever since that fateful day, America has become the centerpiece of international politics worldwide, with few willing to challenge it. Yeah, if the USSR hadn't collapsed like that, there's no way America would be as powerful or influential as it is today, and that's why it's number 6, and not number 7. Number 5. I can't think of anything else to say about the number 5. I couldn't think of anything clever to write about the Great Depression, so I wrote this song. Do 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 do. Actually, I didn't write it. I'm living this whole thing. I hope that isn't wrong. Do 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 do. So, how about that Great Depression? That was something. It helped us learn what not to do, how to avoid a depression. We know how to do that now, and we know what to do when we are in a depression. Don't do what Hoover did. That's what you don't do. Just whatever Hoover does, just do the opposite. Except build dams. Dams are cool. You can build that. You can do that part. That part's okay, Hoover. I'll let you keep that. Of course, will our presidents ever actually do what worked for the depression? Who knows? But at least we can see what has worked, and maybe we can learn from our mistakes. Maybe. Also, it was a whole international thing, all over the world. And because everyone was so poor, they went to people like Hitler and Mussolini for help. So yeah, thanks, Great Depression. Jeez, can you even believe that guy? Number 4. Close the door, like on Jersey Shore. That show is such a bore.
Oh hey there guys, you seem to have caught me back at the White House 70 years into the future. I'm here hanging out with my buddy Donald.
Hey Joe, I got a great idea.
Yeah, Donald, what is it?
What if we just give the federal government all of the power at once and halt all social progression? We get to choose who gets to be rich and who gets to be poor,
What? No, Donald, that's a terrible idea.
Why? It's gonna be huge.
Because Europe already tried that and it failed. Epically.
What? No, it didn't.
Yeah, haven't you ever heard of fascism or Mussolini? Okay, I need to ask for your forgiveness. I have no idea how to do a Bernie Sanders voice, and I don't know how to do an old guy voice, so I'm sorry for what you're about to hear.
Come on, Donald, you're such an idiot.
Bernie? Where do you come from?
What we should do is the exact same thing, except everybody's poor.
No, Bernie, that's just as bad.
Come on, we'll have universal healthcare and everything.
No, Bernie, Europe already tried that too.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, it's called the Soviet Union. Ring any bells? Guys, come on. European totalitarianism already failed. They've shown us exactly what not to do. It's like one of the most important things in US history, come on. Like, maybe even the 4th most important.
Get it? Cause it's number 4?
Number 3 is the next one on the list, and the next one is number 3. Oh yeah. Blah blah blah. World War I. Super important. The end of traditional warfare and start of modern warfare. Changed international diplomacy, led to World War II. Blah blah blah. It's probably on everyone else's list, so let's just move on. Number 2 is coming at you. Number 2 is coming in at you. In a world where Germany has been beaten down by the Allied powers, one genocidal maniac leads the way to world domination. Adolf Hitler was an ordinary anti-Semitist until the day he became the leader of a powerful political party and seized power over the entirety of Germany. This September, join Hitler and his friends as they attempt to beat down their Allied enemies. World War II, coming to a Poland near you, September 1st, 1939. World War II changed everything. It led to the US and the Soviet Union becoming bitter rivals, and was the build-up to the Cold War. It also unified Western Europe for the first time in, ever, so that's a pretty good thing. Plus, without World War II, the US and Japan never would have had a cultural exchange, which means Western animation would have never reached Japan, and anime would never have been invented. Can you even imagine a world without anime? It's like a completely different planet. This is it, the number 1 thing on the list. Number 1, and it's number 1, and it's the final one, and also it is number 1. Did I mention it's number 1? Oh yeah. Number 1. Here it is, the single most important thing in post-Reconstruction United States history. It's the atomic bomb! Because as it turns out, everything changes when you have a bomb that can obliterate millions of lives before you can say, are we as a species really ready to deal with the consequences of such a powerful weapon? International politics have never been the same since this thing was invented. Think about it. No atomic bomb means no Cold War, no threat from North Korea, no Iran nuclear deal to worry about. So many problems just go away. A world without the atomic bomb would be nearly unrecognizable. All conflicts we've been involved in the last 70 plus years have revolved around the nuclear bomb. If it had never been created, the world would be a truly different place. And that's why it deserves to be the #1 thing in US history. Wow, you watched the US History Project. Good for you. Good job. I'm proud of you. So this was my last US History Project of the year. That makes me sad. I'm never gonna be able to waste hours and hours and hours of my time on one of these things again. Man, what an empty life it's gonna be. Here's my copyright warning. I'm going to put it on the screen and say it verbally as well. I have no idea what image I'm going to use, so I hope that what I put on the screen is close to what I'm saying now. Warning. Let's see, what sounds good for a copyright warning? Warning, selections of this presentation use material protected under the Fair Use Clause of United States copyright law. Yeah. And I'm also pretty sure that I have no legal obligation to cite sources. That being said, I do have, I suppose I should sort the book that we use for US history on the screen, because Clark will get mad at me if I don't source at least that. So, there you go. There you can have that. Yes, I'm doing the same thing as last time, where I'm going to use the excuse that this took me a long time, so I don't have to source everything, because I feel like it. So take that. Yeah, if you want to see more of my stuff, you can check out my YouTube channel. I call it Joe Bro Show. I know, it's the most clever name ever. You're just laughing at how clever and just wonderful of a name it is. Or if you want to find these US history videos, I'm uploading them to my private YouTube channel, Joseph Campbell. It's just called Joseph Campbell. Good luck finding it. Have fun. There's a link to it from the Joe Bro Show YouTube channel, which is really easy to find because it's like the first Joe Bro Show that comes up. There's like 2 others, but who cares about those guys, right? Anyway, that's all I have to say, so goodbye.